Breaking news in the sports world, Angel Reese, one of the most talked about stars in college basketball, has just found herself in the middle of an unexpected controversy involving some of the biggest names in the game. In a shocking turn of events, Stephen Curry, Lebron James, and Caitlin Clark have publicly criticized Reese, sparking a heated debate that's lighting up social media. What exactly happened to provoke such reactions from these basketball icons? This unexpected clash is grabbing everyone's attention and raising serious questions about respect, rivalry, and what it means to be a true competitor.
Can't help but watch when she plays, where she's shooting from, the range, the confidence, the flair. Like, she's a performer. It's crazy though, just because her shot it's like that, it's at that level.
In the world of basketball, rivalries and endorsements often capture headlines, but the latest story intertwining Stephen Curry, LeBron James, and Caitlin Clark has taken things to a new level. Recently, a wave of support for Clark has emerged from these basketball luminaries and other experts, drawing a sharp contrast to their stance on Angel Reese.
And I think in overall popularity, does her race play a factor? Nominal. Women's basketball has had a cornucopia of talented white and black women's basketball players. Elena Delle Donne is white, is she not? Sue Bird, white, is she not? Asia Wilson's black. Cynthia Cooper, black. Like, you can go back through, and it's actually a lot more. There's gay and there's straight. There's black and there's white. There's tall and there's short.
This support has sparked intense discussions about the nature of sportsmanship, public perception, and the evolving landscape of women's basketball. Caitlin Clark's rise in women's basketball has been nothing short of meteoric. Known for her electrifying performances on the court, Clark has captivated audiences with her scoring prowess, strategic playmaking, and charismatic presence. Her college career at the University of Iowa has been marked by record-breaking achievements and a style of play that has drawn comparisons to some of the greatest players in history.
Regular season viewership, it grew by 20% in 2023. It's grown by 180% now, which means it would take another 5 or 6 years to do what Caitlin Clark has done. So between draft day viewership, which is up 400% to 40%, between ticket sales, which is up 93% to 16%, between regular game viewership, which is up 180% to 20%, what Caitlin Clark has done is grown the WNBA exponentially. She did in 5 weeks what would have taken 5 years. And as it pertains to draft viewership, she did in 5 days what would have taken 5 years.
Clark's approach to the game is characterized by a blend of confidence and skill. Her ability to score from long range, drive to the basket with finesse, and make clutch plays under pressure has earned her accolades and a growing fan base. Beyond her on-court abilities, Clark's engaging personality and leadership qualities have made her a standout figure in women's basketball. Stephen Curry, a 2-time NBA MVP and one of the most influential players of his generation, has been vocal in his support for Caitlin Clark.
Any other player we have ever seen in the women's game, and it starts with the distance with which she shoots the basketball. We've never seen a player shoot from that deep range with that kind of efficiency.
Caitlin Clark is starting to push Asia Wilson for MVP of this league, and I am not exaggerating. She is starting to push Asia as the best player in the league because I don't see anybody control a game the way Caitlin can.
Known for his own revolutionary impact on the game with his exceptional shooting skills, Curry's endorsement carries significant weight. Curry has praised Clark's ability to perform under pressure and her innovative style of play. In interviews and social media posts, he has highlighted how her game mirrors the type of evolution he brought to the NBA with his three-point shooting revolution.
I mean, I think it's been happening, prior even to this team. This momentum, this wave, that we're feeling, it has been sort of this kind of journey for women's basketball to get the attention that it is, getting at this point.
Curry's support is not just about admiring Clark's talent, but also about recognizing the impact she has on the game and the potential she holds for the future of women's basketball. Curry's backing of Clark also serves to elevate the visibility of women's basketball.
Offensively, our defense wasn't very good, so I think just improving in that area and just all kind of gathering our emotions a little bit better and finding better shots. I thought we kind of stopped playing in a way that made us successful in the first half, so just a good learning opportunity for us. I feel like we could have played a lot better. But yeah, I mean, I think there's a line, and sometimes your passion, your emotion can get to you, but...
By aligning himself with Clark, Curry helps bring more attention to the women's game and highlights the quality of play and the level of talent present in college women's basketball. His endorsement is a powerful statement that reinforces the importance of supporting and celebrating female athletes. LeBron James, often considered one of the greatest basketball players of all time, has also shown strong support for Caitlin Clark.
Splice it and cut it and make it a negative thing. The one thing that I love that she's bringing to her sport, more people want to watch. More people want to tune in. I saw for the first time that they had a chartered plane. That should be celebrated, and it's because of Caitlin Clark. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it fucked up.
James's influence extends far beyond the court, as he is known for his activism and advocacy on social issues. His endorsement of Clark is significant for several reasons. James has publicly acknowledged Clark's exceptional skills and her role in transforming women's college basketball. He has spoken about her ability to make the game exciting.
I'm talking about gifted, LeBron-esque, two-handed, full-court, touchdown pass kind of passing, the likes of which I don't see in the WNBA.
And how her presence on the court attracts fans and generates interest. For James, supporting Clark aligns with his broader commitment to promoting excellence and advocating for greater recognition of women in sports. James's support is also a reflection of his broader approach to basketball and his belief in recognizing talent and hard work regardless of gender.
There is a lot of appropriate attention on Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, and we found out that the Fever Storm game from over the weekend drew 2.2 million viewers, which is massive. The WNBA has 18 games this season where they've had more than 1 million viewers average, and 16 of those 18 have featured Caitlin Clark. So you cannot deny the connectivity of Caitlin Clark playing basketball and people wanting to watch. If she's playing, they will come, they will watch the game.
By highlighting Clark's achievements and contributions, James helps to challenge the traditional boundaries of sports and bring attention to the incredible talent present in women's basketball. The support from Curry and James is not just about praising Clark's individual accomplishments, but also about endorsing a broader movement towards greater visibility and respect for women's sports. Their endorsements serve to amplify Clark's impact and contribute to the ongoing conversation about equality and recognition in athletics.
Yeah, it was great. Honestly, it was a lot of fun. I thought we came in here and we competed hard. That was the thing. Like, we knew they were going to want to win, so we came out with the same mindset of wanting to win. I think we were down 2 at halftime, and I thought we started the third quarter really strong, and that's what kind of set the tone for that whole second half. And then never hurts when Enrique gets really hot like that. It's just kind of like give her the ball and let her do her.
Angel Reese, another prominent figure in women's basketball, has been at the center of a different kind of attention. Known for her standout performances at LSU and her role in leading her team to success, Reese has also faced scrutiny and debate, particularly around her on-court behavior and public persona.
2,826 gallons of beer have been sold.
Wow.
Draft beer. That's an increase of 740%. Hot dog sales up 300%.
Iowa's offense was built around her. Every move, every pass, every shot seemed to flow through Clark.
Her three-point shooting has heated up, and nobody in the league can flick logo threes as effortlessly as Caitlin can.
She moved with purpose, directing her teammates with a point or a glance, almost as if the game was moving in slow motion for her. And then, just minutes into the game, she made her presence felt.
What Caitlin Clark does is kind of simple, really. She shows up at games, she signs autographs, she talks to little girls wearing jerseys, she smiles to the crowd, and then here's the most important thing. She competes like a maniac. I mean like a maniac.
Cheryl Miller and Angel Reese have just made a game-changing announcement that has sent waves through the basketball community and beyond. The Indiana Fever, a prominent team in the WNBA, is welcoming two of the most influential figures in basketball. Cheryl Miller, a living legend in the sport, and Angel Reese, one of the brightest young stars to emerge in recent years.
And now my job is to stand back, roll out the ball, and be the cheerleader. But think about it, guys. Yesterday I'm walking around in this amazing facility just for women. Just for women. And it's not just a facility for women, it's a facility that is hands down better than probably, and I'm not inflating this number, probably 98% of the NBA do not have a practice facility like that, with all the bells and whistles, and the bells and whistles that make sense. And now you have, Matt's done a tremendous job. And I was telling the players this, it's one thing to be rich, it's one thing to have a lot of money.
Cheryl Miller, renowned for her exceptional career as a player and coach, has been instrumental in shaping the landscape of women's basketball. Her remarkable achievements, including leading USC to 2 national championships and her influential role in the development of the women's game, have solidified her status as a trailblazer. Now, with her new role within the Indiana Fever, Miller is expected to bring a wealth of knowledge, strategic acumen, and inspirational leadership to the team. Her involvement promises to infuse the Fever with a deeper understanding of the game and a renewed sense of direction. Angel Reese, known for her standout performances and impressive skill set, is joining the Indiana Fever with a lot of buzz surrounding her arrival. As a dominant force on the court, Reese has captured attention with her versatility, scoring ability, and tenacity. Her recent accolades and high-profile college career have made her one of the most exciting prospects in women's basketball. Her addition to the Fever roster is set to make a substantial impact, both on the court and in the locker room. With Reese's potential and drive, the Fever are looking to make significant strides in their competitive standing. The collaboration between Cheryl Miller and Angel Reese represents a strategic and symbolic shift for the Indiana Fever. Miller's extensive experience and Reese's burgeoning talent create a dynamic combination that aims to elevate the team's performance and reshape its future. This partnership signals a commitment to both immediate competitiveness and long-term success.
I think so many people are watching women's basketball right now. It all started from the national championship game, and I've been dealing with this for 2 years now. And understanding, negative things have probably been said about me, but honestly, I'll take that because look where women's basketball is. People are talking about women's basketball, but you never would think that we'd be talking about women's basketball. People are pulling up to games. We got celebrities coming to games, sold out arenas, just because of one single game. And just looking at that, I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on and be that for my teammates. And if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that. It's not just because of one person. A lot of us have done so much for this game, and Kennedy has been here before, obviously, but there are so many great players in this league that have deserved this for a really, really long time, and luckily, it's coming now.
Fans and analysts alike are eagerly anticipating the changes this announcement will bring. The Indiana Fever's move to integrate such influential figures is a bold statement of their ambition to transform their team and make a mark in the league. With Cheryl Miller's guidance and Angel Reese's prowess, The Fever are setting the stage for an exciting new era in women's basketball. With Cheryl Miller and Angel Reese joining the Indiana Fever, the team is poised for significant changes and strategic advancements. Their next steps will likely involve a multifaceted approach to ensure a smooth transition and capitalize on their new assets. Strategic planning and coaching will be a major focus. Cheryl Miller's appointment is expected to bring a comprehensive review of the team's current strategies and coaching methods. Miller's deep knowledge of basketball will likely lead to new tactical approaches, an enhanced focus on player development, and potentially a shift in how the team prepares for games. Her experience and insights will be crucial in refining game plans, improving overall team performance, and instilling a winning mindset.
But a 2's nice, an 8 would be better. That's what I'm talking about, because they know. They know. And we certainly have come a long way. And I'm not about gouging, but it's a long time overdue. And we're going to continue to get better and better. All you have to do is look at, college basketball and what's coming next, the next wave of excitement. And you have this now, and pretty soon we're going to add another gold medal. So women's basketball is in a great place right now.
Expect Miller to introduce innovative practices and strategies that leverage her extensive background as both a player and coach. Team integration will be another critical area of focus. Angel Reese, as a dynamic and high-profile player, will need to be smoothly integrated into the Fever's roster. This process will involve more than just incorporating her into the starting lineup. It will require thoughtful adjustments to the team's offensive and defensive schemes to optimize her strengths. The coaching staff will likely design specific training sessions and practice scenarios to help Reese build chemistry with her new teammates. Creating a supportive and inclusive environment will be essential for Reese's successful transition and for fostering strong team cohesion. Additionally, the Fever will need to address the increased media attention and fan engagement that comes with such high-profile additions. The arrival of Miller and Reese is sure to generate significant interest from both the media and fans, and the team will need to leverage this attention effectively. This could involve strategic marketing efforts, fan events, and community engagement initiatives to build excitement.
That's really exciting. It's not surprising. I think it was important that, we valued ourselves in this negotiation.
Rookie of the Year, Kelton Clark and Cheryl Reeve, recently partnered for a big TV deal that can change the WNBA.
In the perfect timing, they're going to get a new TV deal, which is going to obliterate the old TV deal.
They have maintained a strong commitment to covering women's sports over the years, unlike other media in our market.
I think your commitment through the years in covering women's sports is not shared by, the broader media in our market.
Their social media game is improving our coverage, but they've still got more ground to cover.
We've improved our coverage in our market for sure, but it is not at the level that it should be at this point, given the magnitude of the events that we have had, whether it's WNBA championships, multiple times, and whether it's when we hosted the All-Star game, whatever it is. And so, we've got another step to go. I'm really hopeful that the current events in covering women's sports, how things are changing very rapidly, that our market is one that will grab a hold and share your passion for it.
The USA experience was the catalyst for her career trajectory. That was a turning point that launched her career.
Yeah, I think caused the epitome of a career trajectory, in that her first USAB experience, was one in terms of where she was at in the league, that, it was typical first experience. She had a lot to learn, a lot to figure out.
She kicked off her WNBA journey and ended up snagging the MVP in the finals.
But she started figuring that out in the WNBA, obviously, as we know, with, culminating in an MVP in the finals. And she just keeps growing. She's got a great work ethic, great passion for the game. And so I think it's notable. I think, like you said a little bit later in her career, I think that's notable for players, that they understand. We were just having this conversation that it may not be your time when you're younger. Maybe there's just people at your position. Maybe you still have a little bit to add to your game, whatever it is. And, being patient in that process.
Recognizing our value was key in this negotiation, making sure we held our ground.
Yeah, it's really exciting. It's not surprising. I think it was important that, we valued ourselves in this negotiation. It's certainly helpful to have this rookie class, led by Caitlin, who, is sort of driving, the media, the interest, the business.
Cheryl's making sure she knows what the WNBA's got in store for the beginning of the season.
And so I think making sure that, I said this in the beginning of the season, what can the WNBA do? We can take advantage and not sell ourselves short. And also have a vision for the future, where this league is headed, like all pro sports leagues that we have seen, NBA, Major League Baseball, NFL. There is an evolution to a sports league, and we're in our evolution. This is our moment to take that next step.
According to Caitlin, Cheryl's a trailblazer in the sport and just a really cool individual.
Yeah, I think obviously Cheryl, she's like one of the pioneers of our game and just an awesome individual. Like her personality just radiates, like being around her, it just makes you smile. Like she's just such a cool human. So for her to get to coach us, like super exciting for me. I was super excited when I heard that news. Like just a great opportunity to be around somebody that's given so much to this game and to get to enjoy this, my first experience with her, honestly. It's awesome, and to be a part of this, like to see it grow, it's super special. I'm happy for the players that have been in this league for a really long time to have moments like these and opportunities like these, because they've deserved it. It's been a long time coming, but honestly, like I feel like we're just scratching the surface. Like you said, the 2 expansion teams that already announced and are going to be coming over the course of the next 2 years, like that's only going to help the league grow. It's going to get more eyeballs, get us into new markets. The new media rights deal, that's going to help. So it's just, day by day, year by year, like it's only going to continue to get better, and it's going to give people an opportunity to see how good women's basketball is.
One of the greatest competitors that the league or women's basketball has ever seen, or sports have ever seen. One of the all-time greatest competitors. It's a player that we have loved to hate as an opponent, but that means you are really, really doing something great. She's done it all in big games, won us big games, makes big shots. Her level of compete, her understanding of the game, what should happen, her understanding of her teammates, how to put them in position to be successful.
It's truly fascinating to delve into everything that's been happening in the WNBA recently, from the standout performances on the court to the impactful social initiatives off the court.
Did you guys see this note? It's really interesting what's happened to the WNBA. In the perfect timing, they're going to get a new TV deal, which is going to obliterate the old TV deal. They're still going to lose money this year doing the charter flights. I think putting cart before horse is a little bit much, but the Caitlin Clark effect is real. It just is. And the latest sign is that they got 3.44 million people watched the WNBA All-Star Game on ABC, topping the previous record of 1.44 million. So 2 million more people watched the WNBA All-Star Game, in which the WNBA All-Stars beat Team USA. Anyway, 2 million more people watched. And I mean, I can't equate every one of those 2 million people to be because of Caitlin Clark. Her whole act, her whole bravado is so it's not just unbecoming of somebody who's a coach, but your job when you're USA basketball, the coach USA basketball, like you're a champion of the game. You're growing the game, and there just isn't there's a coach speak code that everyone knows, and she refuses, and it shows her what has to be an insecurity, right? She feels like Shooter McGavin. That's what she feels like. I was too busy winning.
Caitlin took the worst team in the WNBA, had a rough start in the first year, and now they're actually competitive.
Like, all right, dude, but she took the worst team in the WNBA. They're terrible to start the year, and now they're competitive. And oh yeah, by the way, she's really good, and people care. They want to watch her play. And when put in a situation where you have better players around her, she becomes a facilitator. Like, I don't understand what her deal is other than some massive, massive insecurity. And as we've said before, she is the embodiment of what's wrong with what's hard with women in the workplace, is that the biggest challenge, biggest hurdle for women to get over in the workplace is other women.
You know what the average attendance is when Caitlin Clark plays home or the road?
What?
15,300. Wow. Okay? 15,300. Do you know what Caitlin Clark just got the contract from Nike?
Nike.
You know what the contract is?
I want to say it's $3 million a year for 8 to 10 years. It's almost $30 million, something like that.
Right there. Look at this. Caitlin Clark gets 15,591 fans in attendance, 105% increase compared to the average game is 76.45. Can you pull up what Caitlin Clark just got? What is the Nike contract with Caitlin Clark? Nike contract, $28 million is what the contract is. Okay? This is WNBA is paying Caitlin Clark $28 million. Good for freaking you. You know what America loves? Let me break it down for you. We absolutely love one thing. You know what it is? Underdogs. Caitlin Clark is an underdog. We don't care if it's WNBA. We don't care if it's the UFC and they said, Dana, you'll never make it. We don't care if it's a presidential candidate. We don't care if it's a comedian. We don't care if it's a businessman. We don't care if it's a podcaster. We don't care if it's a fighter. We don't care if it's anything. We don't care about your color. We don't care if you're married, single, divorced. We don't care about anything. We love humble underdogs. We just do. We love an underdog that comes in, that's got a fight, that wants to go out there and do it. And Caitlin Clark's doing it. And she's getting all these eyeballs. And I'm so happy for her to get the 28 flipping million.
A lot of people there in the arena, like just for a draft watch party, like that's pretty incredible. So awesome. I can't wait to get there and actually be playing games. I know it'll be a packed crowd.
You can always tell when it's a home game day for the Fever because downtown Indy gets flooded with the number 22.
Caitlin Clark just dropped the news. She's officially part of the WNBA now.
A huge headline tonight in women's basketball. Record-breaking Iowa Hawkeyes star Caitlin Clark has announced she's entering the WNBA draft this year. And it's big news here in Indianapolis because the Indiana Fever hold the #1 pick in that draft.
And Clark is skipping her final season of eligibility to go pro. Just last week, Iowa played at IU in Bloomington, and this was the line to see her at Assembly Hall.
Caitlin's presence on the court draws crowds wherever she goes.
Honestly, I think it's super special, and sitting at the table, kind of obviously knowing where I'm going, you still get a little bit anxious when the commissioner walks out and says your name. It's something you dream of, like it's a moment I've dreamed of since I was in 2nd grade, and be there with my family at the table was amazing, and to share it with them was super special.
Indiana Fever just scored big with the 2023 WNBA Rookie of the Year already in their lineup.
And now the dreams of Indiana Fever fans coming true today. This announcement's a huge deal for the Indiana Fever, who already have 2023 WNBA Rookie of the Year Aaliyah Boston on their roster now.
And the Fever hold the #1 pick in this year's draft.
There is a fervent expectation that Indiana will choose Caitlin Clark to lead their charge.
It's widely expected that they will go with Clark. And as Fox 59's Eric Graves shows us, basketball fans are already excited about the idea of adding her to the roster.
Caitlin. Indianapolis ready to welcome the best player in college hoops to Gainbridge Fieldhouse. We were at the NFL Combine Experience today talking to fans about football, and they had plenty to say about the future of Fever basketball, too.
Even though she's not yet a WNBA player, Caitlin has done so much for women's basketball.
Breaking records for history, selling out crowds, and balling out. That's what Iowa superstar Caitlin Clark does.
She's a star already, and she's not even a professional on that level yet.
Caitlin has smashed some records and left her mark in the history books.
She's rewritten record books over her 4 years at Iowa, now owning the NCAA women's scoring record and creating new fans of women's basketball along the way.
I haven't really followed a lot of women's basketball up until this year. I've never seen a player like that. Really, she's incredible.
Wherever Caitlin hits the court, you can bet the seats will be filled.
Home or away, Clark has been selling out venues across the country this year, including Assembly Hall just a few weeks ago.
Just has this energy that everyone's just kind of attracted to and drawn to.
An intensity that fans of all ages love.
Do you like watching Caitlin Clark?
Yes.
The Indiana Fever have had the top pick in this year's WNBA draft for a while now, but it was Clark with the question mark. Would she stay in school for another year or turn pro?
Listen up. Caitlin Clark has something to announce.
Thursday night, she made the announcement.
Caitlin Clark announced she's going to declare for the WNBA draft.
Did she? I didn't hear that. Oh, that's fantastic.
Clark's decision puts her on a collision course with the Fever at number 1, giving fans plenty to talk about.
It'll sort of add some energy to female sports.
I think it's going to change the landscape for the Fever.
Nothing is set in stone, but Fever legend Tamika Catchings posted on X welcoming Clark to the Fever, and Clark liked the post. Fans already comparing her to Indiana hoops greats.
That would be phenomenal, following behind Tamika Catchings and some of the other ones that have already been here.
She'll be the Reggie Miller of the Fever, is what we hope.
Over to the WNBA, where the Indiana Fever introduced the first overall pick from Monday's draft, Caitlin Clark. Her resume is as long as the three-pointers she drained while helping lift women's hoops to unprecedented popularity. Take a listen to the top overall pick. It's new on SportsCenter.
I can't think of a better place for myself to start my career, a place that loves basketball, supports women's basketball, and an organization that really does things the right way. I'm just very thankful that they have a belief in me. I was just ready for a new challenge and something new in my life. Felt like I kind of had done everything at Iowa that I possibly could, and we did a lot of amazing things, but to be able to come here and stay in the Midwest, you can't script it any better. I hated playing at Indiana, and they hated me, so hopefully a lot of them turn into Indiana Fever fans, but I mean, they hated me for good reason. It's a hard place to win at, and there's going to be learning curves for me. I'm not going to come out here and score 40 points a game. Like, that's not what I'm going to do. I think it's just, learning from the amazing people that I have around me and having a lot of fun, but also, don't lose who I am. That's what's got me to this point. Continue to be myself, and I think a lot of good will come from that.
This game was really a springboard to see the all-star list of constellations in the WNBA. Take us inside your thoughts.
Caitlin Clark brings excitement to people who are watching the game.
Well, that's the beautiful thing about all these eyes that Caitlin Clark brings, right? I know there are so many Caitlin Clark fans for good reason. She broke a WNBA record in tonight's game with 19 assists to go along with 20-plus points. What Caitlin is doing is amazing, but there are so many other talented pieces around her, and that's the best part. When you watch Caitlin shine, what else do you get to see? Aaliyah Boston have 28 points, and then even on the opposite side, you start to fall in love with opponents as well, and those players like Arike Agumbawale and Odyssey Sims, who had 24 points each, or Natasha Howard, who's a forward who had 8 assists. All the players for the Dallas Wings, even JC Sheldon, who's a rookie alongside Caitlin Clark, knocked down some big-time threes. So all these eyes on Caitlin puts all the eyes on the rest of the league that is filled with so much talent, and that's the best part. For any Indiana Fever game, you're seeing Caitlin, of course, in the talented Indiana team, but you're seeing everybody.
No question. Let's take a look and keep our eyes on what may happen moving forward. Next Indiana win, they're going to match last season's win total. Dallas is sitting there at the bottom of the WNBA standings right now with Washington, but you say fortifications are coming. Take us inside the second half for both of these teams.
I see Indiana firmly in, and even possibly winning a playoff series or two. I don't think they have enough to win a WNBA championship, but they're already, in my opinion, light years ahead of where I thought they would be, and they're not even close to their ceiling. Like, this team and this season, as they put seasons like this together, this can be a team that hangs another banner, and I know Indiana fans would absolutely love that. I see them in the playoffs solid.
You can always tell when it's a home game day for the Fever because downtown Indy gets flooded with the number 22.
Just go down the street and you're seeing 22 shirts everywhere.
The number that belongs to the one and only Caitlin Clark.
I'm really happy I got to see her today. Yeah. It was like a dream come true.
Her star power was on full display against the New York Liberty when Clark made history, not only for herself as a rookie, but for her team when she hit a triple-double, electrifying the crowd.
Here are some comments from people about Caitlin Clark. Have a look.
It's historic. It was pretty awesome. We're big Iowa fans, so we've been watching her for years, and it was great to see her live.
It was pretty surreal because we were watching TV, I think the game before, and she got really close to it. I think she was like a couple of rebounds away, and I didn't think that I would actually be at the first one, but here we are.
It felt really exciting that my favorite basketball player made her first triple-double.
We've been following her since like last season with Iowa, but seeing her do what she did on the court today, that was actually really amazing.
Not to mention, the Caitlin Clark effect is changing the game overall.
What she has done for the sport of basketball and what she has done for women's sports, period, it's amazing.
The WNBA, the professional league, is it's growing amazing. Like, I just can't believe they're selling out, and I love it. It's awesome.
Go Fever, let's go! Triple-double, first rookie! Fans have been traveling across the country for Fever games, and for some, it's their first introduction to a feeling Hoosiers have known forever.
There's some kind of camaraderie, you know? I think everybody feels it. Like I said, it feels electric, like something big is gonna happen.
How long was your drive?
7 hours.
7 hours. Was it worth it?
Yeah.
I've been enjoying watching Fever basketball since Tamika catches, so just to have this up war again, you know, in the city is very lovely.
In a heated exchange, sports commentator Dan Patrick recently lost his cool on Cheryl Swoops after she expressed criticism toward Caitlin Clark, the rising star of women's college basketball. The interaction became a focal point of discussion in the sports community as Patrick defended Clark's talent and impact on the game, while Swoops, a legendary figure in women's basketball, voiced her concerns. The clash between these two prominent figures highlights the growing tension and differing opinions surrounding Clark's meteoric rise in the sport.
Caitlin Clark now has the rookie record, the history of the WNBA, as she's now going to try to set the all-time record, but 12 games to go. Now, this is happening exactly how I scripted it. I told you this is going. They loaded up the schedule, front-loaded Caitlin Clark on a bad team, you know, the worst team because they drafted her, number one. They were going to load up against better competition, and she played an entire college basketball season, and she didn't play well. And I said at the time she didn't deserve to be on the Olympic team. And at the time I felt that. But she got rest. The schedule, not as demanding, and now you're seeing Caitlin Clark. And for everybody who talked about, oh, you know, she's just a shooter, she's already set the all-time rookie assist record. For somebody who's the greatest scorer in college basketball history, and she is an incredible... See, I think that was lost on a lot of people. Her ability to be able to find the open person, it's something that you're born with. And you know, if you're one of her teammates and she's coming in, and I said at the time, she will try to ingratiate herself as a teammate by passing first instead of shooting first. And that's exactly what's happened. And she's played incredibly well. They've played incredibly well. And I know we want to make this the Rookie of the Year debate.
Dan Patrick, a seasoned sports commentator known for his measured and insightful takes, found himself in an unexpected and uncharacteristic moment of frustration. The catalyst for this was a conversation with Cheryl Swoops, a basketball legend in her own right, about Caitlin Clark, one of the most exciting and talked-about players in women's college basketball today. Dan Patrick has been a staple in sports broadcasting for decades, bringing a blend of wit, knowledge, and respect for the game to his audience. He has interviewed countless athletes, coaches, and analysts, always with a professional demeanor. Patrick's deep appreciation for sports, coupled with his ability to connect with listeners, has made him a beloved figure in sports media. His shows often strike a balance between serious sports analysis and light-hearted banter, making him a trusted voice in the sports community. On the other hand, Cheryl Swoops is no stranger to the limelight. As one of the pioneers of the WNBA and a three-time Olympic gold medalist, Swoopes' impact on women's basketball is undeniable. Her legacy is built on her remarkable skills on the court and her trailblazing role in advancing women's sports. Swoopes has been vocal about the challenges and triumphs of women athletes, often advocating for greater recognition and respect for their achievements. Caitlin Clark, the subject of their heated discussion, is a name that has become synonymous with excitement in women's college basketball.